Hello everyone, how is it going? 26th of June. It is Thursday, obviously our second live stream for this week. And again, we're gonna go through some of the major instruments right here. I just need a couple of quick minutes to send out a message in the free Telegram channel. So let me do that first. And by the way, for those of you who are in the premium Telegram channel, well done. I know there are some of you guys who managed to take advantage of this uptrend that we had on euro dollar. We still have it, but all I'm saying is that we were waiting for price to hit 1.17 in order for us to take out our position. We had a pretty decent move here, a bullish move, bullish trend on the majors for quite some time now. And this is exactly what I talked about with one of our members just before this live stream. I mean, the trend on euro dollar, all right, even back when price was trading at around 1.02, as you can see, a pretty decent trend, right? Very clear price action, something that it's well, I'm not going to say easy, but quite straightforward to work with whenever you've got trends like this. Okay, and we've been covering this trend in the premium Telegram channel uh, throughout the whole time. So I just need to write a quick message. Okay. So here is the link. Forex.com. There we go. Quick message on Facebook as well. For those of you watching, if you are not following us on social media, make sure to do so. All the links are in the description down below this video. But most importantly, join the free Telegram channel, man. I mean, we send out daily updates on euro dollar. And that's why exactly I showed you what kind of trend we had over the past few weeks, Um, and like I said, all of that was covered totally for free, actually, on our trading view. But this is, in the free Telegram channel is where we share that analysis on a daily basis. If you've been following the analysis, you could have, be able to take advantage of even just this last impulse that we had, all right, down here. That was literally yesterday, okay? And this is what we talked about. We did say that, well, not yesterday, um, a few days ago, but this is what we talk about. A potential continuation to the upside here on euro dollar. Not just this one, but we're talking about specifically about euro dollar now, because you get this analysis completely for free on a daily basis, right? Right, a quick message on Facebook. Just gonna wait for a couple of more people to join, and then we're gonna carry on with the analysis. Now we've got to be very cautious with how we're going to proceed forward, because if we're still going to be looking for long positions here on euro dollar or even pound dollar, it's going to be more difficult for price to continue that momentum. Okay, you have to take into account that we've actually reached quite a long-term target. Okay, 1.17, a pretty decent level. Okay, a psychological number as well. So I feel like we're going to see some sort of a pullback. Maybe not right now, maybe not immediately, but at some point there's going to be a pullback coming. It's also the end of the quarter. This is also a very important time throughout the trading year. Okay, you have to pay attention to those periods. Okay, end of quarters, because this is when we normally see the trend either reversing or maybe price action kind of slowing down, giving us some deeper pullbacks, retracements in the market, stuff like that. All right, here it is. Quick message on Twitter as well. So let me just quickly go through the charts, see what kind of setups we have. One point 3675 74 was the first target. Price smashed through that target. 1.3862 the next one. Now I'm talking about pound dollar. Okay. So if we take into account just this last impulse right here, first target 1.3760 right? We are currently about 40 pips away from that. So if we drop down to a lower time frame, we could potentially find a trade. So let's see how it goes. And then 1.3868, 1.3862 from the higher time frame. So this right here is a pretty decent target as well. But like I said, we've got to be very cautious. Okay, we've just reached that first target on this 4-hour move right here. But to be honest, for now, at least for now, it doesn't look like price is about to slow down. In fact, we're still gathering a lot of momentum. I love it when the market is so active, so live. So what else? We've got gold, so we're gonna get into that in just a second. But let's just see what is going on here with euro dollar. So let me just take this last move. I'm gonna place the fib expansion right here. 1.17, like I said earlier, and then 1.1780, 1.1775, something like this up here. This is where price is eventually going, but let's see what we got. If, for example, we come here, we retrace back to this previous structure, um, you know, we'll see. We could potentially give it a try. Got the 61.8, 1.1640. This is where I want to see price next. I'm going to delete that fib. 1.1640. Okay, this is the level on euro dollar. If we have a pullback, and then we see price kind of slowing down towards 1.1640, then maybe trading sideways for a bit. And in case we get a good reversal signal down here, something like this, then we could potentially give it a try and take a long trade, see how it goes. And then in this case, the first target will be price revisiting the previous highs, the most recent highs, which at that point will be current price levels. And then eventually continuing higher towards 1.1780. Okay, we'll see. It's very important though that you guys know right now is not the time to start risking even more just because the analysis is going very well and just because price is keeps pushing up. It's you've got to recognize when we reach a long-term target like we did now, 1.17, it is more likely for price to actually reverse, maybe not reverse the whole trend, but at least give you some sort of a retracement. So these are not the times when you have to risk more. These are actually the times when you have to kind of step back, wait for the market, see what it wants to do next, whether it's going to continue higher or is it going to start developing that reversal. So we'll see. But yeah, like I said, a pretty decent trend. So let's say if you get that here on your dollar. Now we don't yet have a pullback on pound dollar, but if we have one, we could be looking at the 38.2 level here for GU. I'm just expecting to see more bullish momentum on GU rather than EU, and that means the pullback is probably going to be smaller. So that's why I'm saying 38.2 instead of the 61.8 level. But let's see how it goes. For now, we can't even place the Fibonacci because we don't yet have, a high price is still pushing up. Okay, here is the 4-hour time frame on gold, currently trading around 3,343. If you look at the 15-minute time frame, we already have some bullish price action. I'm not really sure though. I would love to see price taking out, this equal structure right here. And this is exactly what I said in the premium Telegram channel 2 hours ago. I want to see price taking out this equal structure. Once it does, if we then have a reversal, this is where I'm going to be looking for my entry. And I'm definitely not looking to sell. So what does that mean? It means that even if we start gathering momentum towards the downside and we see some strong, bearish candles, and let's say I'm expecting for price to take out this low, even if I have a good enough setup here, I'm still not going to enter a trade. I just cannot enter a short trade on gold. That's it. if we are in a downtrend, yes, of course, but right now it's a completely different story. Okay, in fact, we already had a deeper pullback here, so price can easily continue higher from current price levels without really giving me this pullback that I'm waiting for. But then in this case, you know, because if let's say we come all the way up here, I would then expect again a pullback, but probably not as much as that. Okay, so right now it's very important how we're going to react at this structure that we currently have. You know, you can clearly see that we've reacted at this level multiple times. You know, we've reacted right here, right here, right here, here. So right now we are trading at exactly the same level. So what is price going to do now? This is where I think if we're about to take out those equal lows from the 1 hour time frame, I think this is the level right around current price levels. Right here is the area where we should see that reversal, and it's going to be a third consecutive lower high as well. Now if this happens, then I think I'm going to be very confident in taking this long setup from down here. Okay, however, if we come all the way up here, well, in this case I'm probably going to be expecting a higher low and a continuation higher. Okay, so we've got to be patient. I'm not taking any trades right now. We can see bullish momentum on the majors. Pound dollar is really pushing strong here. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section. You can always send me a message as well, a private message. I think the best thing that we can do is for you to send me your charts, your setups, maybe your trades, whether they're profitable or not. And then, you know, I can pull them up on the screen and we can comment on those. I think this is how we're going to provide even more value to, you know, the other traders that are going to be watching those live sessions. You know, during the live I don't really get many people, but then it's at least 30 or 40 people that are watching the live sessions. So there's definitely someone who's going to be, you know, watching, trying to solve their issues, whatever kind of issues they have with their trading. And if one of those people is yourself, make sure to send me a message, guys. I mean, do you know what? I'm going to send a link for my Telegram chat. Let me just do that. I do it every now and then. And that just reminds me that I can actually drop a link where you can send me a private message right now. Here it is. You know, I'm also working on some articles. You can go over to trendlineforex.com. Okay, you then go up here, useful, click on blog articles. The one that I shared yesterday, I published yesterday, why do 90% of traders lose and how can you become part of the winning 10%? And then also, you know, for those of you who are trading gold, okay, make sure to check out this article as well. Very detailed article, you know, that explains a lot about gold. And I'm sure even if you've been trading gold for, you know, some time now, there's probably things and, you know, information in this article that you didn't know. Okay, but very, very valuable. And I'm also working on another article right now, which is going to be published either, you know, today or maybe tomorrow, which is it includes a full strategy, a full breakdown of a specific trading strategy. So don't sleep on that, man. A lot of helpful and valuable information here on our website. I've said it many times before, but again, I'm gonna remind you, we've got you know, completely free of charge courses, right, that you can take. If you are a beginner, you can go over to the beginner section and you can go through our full Forex training for beginners, right? 38 video lessons, 190 minutes of duration, completely for free. All you gotta do is just sign up on our website, trendlineforex.com. We also have other courses, just for example, the funding one. You get that completely for free, how to get funded with, prop firms like FTMO, and you will see that, again, I have a full strategy breakdown here as well, right? So make sure to check out our website, trendlineforex.com. Back to the charts. Back to the charts. I do like that we have bullish price action on gold, but for some reason it doesn't look like a strong reversal. All right, whenever we've got a strong reversal, we would have, some momentum like we have here, We don't see that here, right? Instead of that, price is steadily climbing up, which makes me think we're probably going to see one last dip before we actually continue higher. But the setup on gold is probably the best one right now. I'm not sure whether it's going to give us the entry, sooner than we may have entries on euro dollar and pound dollar. But I do like the setup on gold, especially if price here on the higher time frames comes back to take out those lows. Now, why do I think this is going to happen? Well, because a lot of market participants see this previous low. Okay, so we came back all the way down here. We didn't take out this low, but instead of that, we formed another low. So a lot of buyers have entered the market here, obviously, and then even more buyers are going to be entering the market here. Okay, more retail traders, and this is very important to say. Okay, so where do all these people place their stop losses? Well, right below this line. Okay, because we basically have equal lows. Okay, so if we come back to take out this structure, all of those stop losses, then I believe the market is going to be able to gain that quick momentum that I'm looking for. You see, we have a reversal here. You can see how strong of a reversal we have. We've got a reversal here. You can see how strong of a momentum we have, right? We don't yet have this right here. So I'm not totally sure. I can't say for sure whether we're going to form this pullback, but if we do, then this is where I'm going to be looking for entries, down here. By the way, I hope my microphone is fine and you can hear me well. By the way, microphone is fine and you can hear me. It's fine. I didn't check that in the beginning of the stream, so I just realized I may have been muted. But no, it's fine. It's okay. Well, it has happened to me before, definitely. About 20-30 minutes into the stream, somebody told me that, I'm muted, and I just felt, I'm not gonna describe the way I felt, but it wasn't a good feeling. All right, so let's see. Price is currently trading right at the levels where we had this big rejection. So if we have another one of those rejections again, then this is most likely going to tell us that we're about to head down. But if we break above that week, you know, especially if we do it easily, then that probably means we're going to see a continuation to the upside right away. So let's see how it goes. The first 1 hour of the session is going to be important. So, make sure to check out how the hourly candles will close at 9 a.m. London time. Now, I want to observe price action while gold is trading within this area. All right. So from the level of 3,330 up to around 3,350. If we're about to take out the lows here on the 1 hour chart, we're most likely going to see that reversal within this area. It obviously could happen, a little bit higher, but this is where it makes the most sense. Okay. And as you can see, that level right here is right in between, those levels. So we'll see how it goes. And if we see such a confirmation, let's say price reversing right here, for the traders that are trading against the trend, so basically counter trend strategies, this is where they would be looking for selling positions. I'm not one of those traders, but I'm just saying. Let's have a look at the economic calendar, see what we have for next week. what do we got? Monday, Lagarde speech. Other than that, pretty much nothing. Tuesday, okay, again. All right, Tuesday we're gonna have some news for the euro. Um, okay, also, all right, Tuesday is gonna be important next week, 1st of July, 2nd of July, employment change, Lagarde speech. Thursday, NFP. Okay, yes. So this is important. Next week, NFP is going to be on Thursday. It's usually the first Friday of the month, but because it's Independence Day on 4th of July, obviously, it's going to be a day off for the US market. So that's why the NFP is going to be on Thursday. Yeah, so the US session on Friday is going to be quiet, but we still have the London session, right? Guys, I've noticed that whenever I do the stream, well, every time basically, I do the stream from 8 a.m. London time until 9 a.m. You know, more people start joining in towards the end of the stream. So I may start doing them an hour later. I'm not sure. I just wanted to me, it makes a bit more sense to, you know, to look at the, to look at price action during the first 1 hour of the session. But if you guys are joining in towards the end of the session, then that probably means I should, you know, start doing it an hour later. I may give it a try for next week. Well, we'll see. Or, as I think about it, I can also run a poll on the free Telegram channel. It's probably going to give me the best idea of when I should do those streams because we've got over 3,000 people in the free Telegram channel. But yeah, I can see a little bit more people joining in. Hope you guys are doing all right. Welcome to the stream. We're looking at gold, we're looking at euro dollar and pound dollar. And okay, so here we have a little bit more movement on euro dollar. It looks like we're about to reject the same level again, 1.17. So let's see. For now, it looks like we're setting up for a pullback. Not sure if we're going to get one, but if we do, then the level that we're going to be looking at is 1.1640. Okay, I'm not taking any short positions, expecting for price for sure to reach 1.1640, but you know, if there's going to be a pullback, then this is where I'm going to be observing price action for potential signals in the opposite direction. You know, basically for price to again reverse back to the upside. So let's see how it goes. And what I said in the beginning of the session is that, you know, we have to be more cautious now. We have to really pick our setups very, very precisely because we're going to be looking for long trades. But like I said, we have reached a long-term target at 1.17. It's also the end of the quarter in a couple of days' time. So yes, 1st of July. So anyways, we also have some news on 1st of July. All right, next week may be hectic, to be honest with you. Yep, we are still bullish on pound dollar. Looks like we're gaining a bit more momentum here on gold. What do you guys trade? Let me know in the comments. Do you currently have any trades, or are you following any setups at the moment? Now, what else did I talk about in the premium Telegram channel? We also covered, Aussie dollar, dollar yen, the yen cross pairs. By the way, what is going on with dollar yen? Yep, bearish continuation. Of course, didn't quite get um I was expecting to see price continuing bearish. As you can see, this is the analysis that we shared way before this move happened, but you know didn't get the entry here. I'm also expecting for price to reach the previous lows, maybe not any lower, but if I'm looking for short positions here, I wouldn't go crazy with the targets. So what I'm trying to say is that I probably wouldn't be looking for targets below 141. Okay, but that gives you plenty of room to the downside. Now, especially since we have a breakout here, you can drag another Fibonacci, okay, as soon as price starts retracing, and then you can look for a continuation on the lower time frames. It's going to be a really decent setup, by the way. So, watch out for, signals like this here on dollar yen. It's actually looking pretty decent. We also talk about the yen cross pairs, and Bitcoin is actually pushing up pretty decent for those of you who are trading crypto. But anyways, all right. So what we have here on euro dollar, again, like I said, it looks like we're rejecting the previous level. Not that good of a signal on pound dollar, but euro dollar is definitely looking decent. So let's see if we get that pull back towards 1.1640. This may present a pretty decent setup for us. We don't yet have a pullback on pound dollar, but then I'm going to drag the Fibonacci retracement here, and I'm probably going to be looking for the 38.2. So keep that in mind. And also, let's see if we get something like this on gold, then I would love to see for price to take out this low before it goes back to the upside. This is pretty much what I would expect here. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting by the end of tomorrow. How will price action position itself? Because the next week, like I said, it looks like it will be kind of busy before Friday, of course. So until then, are we going to have some decent setups? But if we have bearish price action throughout next week, and then we close next week with a bearish candle, then that probably means we're gonna have a deeper pullback. It's actually interesting how we have such a strong price action on euro dollar and pound dollar, and not that much of a movement on gold. It does happen sometimes, but most of the time you'll notice that gold is also moving quite well alongside the majors. See, this is what I'm talking about. We're already just over 40 minutes into the stream, and right now you guys are joining in. So we'll see. I'll probably start doing the streams an hour later. Maybe we're gonna have more people. Or do you know what? I may actually do a stream for the US session. You know what? We can give it a try that way. See how it goes. Let me know. Would you like to see a stream during US session? It's just that, I'm up for the London session anyway, so why not do a stream in the beginning of the day? And because even if we don't have any trading opportunities, at least we know what we're waiting for. So for example, by the end of the stream, we're not going to see a pullback towards 1.1640, right? But if we get one after the stream and you're looking for trading opportunities, you know what kind of setups we're looking for, right? So that's why I think it's helpful for me to do a stream during the first hour of the London session to kind of lay out the setups that I may be looking at, and so you guys know them as well. And if it aligns with your trading plan, then it could be something that is going to give you the confidence you need to enter a trade. Um, but yeah. Okay, so 3,356.55, let's say, is the 61.8 fib level on this most recent move here on gold. So again, I'm not saying that we're going to see, another dip for sure, but for me that would be a nice setup if we see price taking out those most recent lows here on the 1 hour and the 4 hour chart. So this is what I'm talking about right now. I'm sharing with you what is my idea, what kind of setup I'm looking for. And because this is a higher time frame, it's obviously not going to happen during the live session, but at least you know what to wait for. Okay, so if it happens later throughout the day, you will know that you've got a potential setup on the line. When I'm looking at the yen cross pairs, I think we're going to see price continuing bullish, but then how do you enter a trade right here at the previous highs? It doesn't make any sense, right? So we've got to wait for a better setup. Now the thing is, it looks like we're now forming up a pullback already. So we'll see how it goes, but best case scenario, we're not going to break below those lows right here. Maybe we're going to see price testing 195.80 down here. Or also the 38.2 level, as you can see, perfectly aligns with this previous high. So basically we may have break, a retest setup right here. So pound yen and euro yen, by the way, could actually present some opportunities. $61.8 for euro yen as well, 167.40. Let's see how it goes. As you can see, right here is the 61.8, and right here we have this previous structure pretty much at the same level. And then also we're going to take out this low, something like this eventually. Okay, so I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Don't forget to check out our website trendlineforex.com. Have a look at our blog article section. Have a look at um, the free courses that we offer. A lot of valuable information here at trendlineforex.com. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel because I'm doing live sessions like this twice a week, every single week, every Tuesday and every Thursday as well. Okay, also a lot more valuable content on here. And most importantly, don't forget to join the free Telegram channel. You're going to be the first to know whenever we do giveaways, promotions, and stuff like that. So yes, thanks, Mihail. That's great. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna see you guys next live session. This is gonna be on Tuesday next week, which is what it's 1st of July actually. And we do have some important news then as well, so we may have a little bit more movement in the market. So we'll see. I may do a later a US market session. We'll see how it goes. But I think I'm gonna end it right here. You know what kind of setups I'm looking for. So mark out the same levels on your chart and see how it goes. Okay. Take care, everybody, and stay safe and don't overexpose your account to too much risk.